Hi friends, I'm Erin and this is Erin Go Read. Happy New Year and happy Friday reads. I'm a health and nutrition coach, so even though today is officially a holiday, it's definitely a work day for me. So I am here all alone at my co-working space, but I have this gigantic, beautiful window in front of me. I can see the bridge, the lake is like right over there. I have beautiful trees all around, so I'm not complaining. And I get to work with some clients today and have a few prospect calls today, and I'm like pumped for really changing some lives here, so yay. Okay, so at the 11th hour, I finished the last two books of the year. I finished Nicci French's Friday on My Mind, which I was listening to on audiobook. Another super great, they're just always really good. Nothing like in particular to say about it, more the series in general. Well, I guess I will say this one is a bit different because it involves Frida is in the middle of this crime in a different way than she has been in the previous books, I guess I will say. So I don't want to say any more than that, but it's one of those ones where you feel genuinely worried about the character and how they're going to get out of the mess that they're in. Same thing could be said for Louise Penny, How the Light Gets In. This is book 9 in the series. So good. This is my favorite series. I immediately want to start reading book 10. I don't have it, but I just requested it from Libby and I should get it within the next few weeks via audiobook. So from book 1, we have known that there's some sort of history, some sort of bad history between Armand Gamache, our main character. Someone's being a jackass in the parking lot. Between Armand Gamache and Sky Pierre Arnaud. Guys in trucks. Anyway, but we knew that this thing happened. Gamache had something to do with getting Pierre Arnaud, who was the chief superintendent of the Sûreté de Quebec, something to do with him getting locked up. We didn't know any of the background of the story. So throughout the whole series, we've had in the background the stuff going on with kind of the inner politics of the police force and Gamache. And Gamache is kind of like the man of the people. He's the upstanding man in the right, basically, against a corrupt system kind of thing. But it's always just in the background, and the crime, the mystery at hand is always takes the forefront of the story. In this one, we kind of reverse those roles, and where we have a mystery to solve, one of the Oulet Quints has been found dead in her home, and the Oulet Quints are based on, who is the actual Quints? They're an actual set of Quints born in 1939, the Dion quintuplets in Ontario, Canada. It was loosely based on them, but then that basically takes kind of the background, like the back seat. Then all of the political stuff and the power struggle and all of this really comes to the forefront. It was just like so nail biting. It's just so good. I don't even have words. I'm not generally a fast reader, but this was one where the last 100 pages or so, I could not read fast enough, and just my attention was completely sucked into this. Also, we returned to Three Pines in this one, and so although we kind of are a little bit all over the place, mostly it is set back in Three Pines, and the villagers end up playing quite a big role with Gamache. And we also have a really complicated situation going on too, with actually a couple of his agents. So just so good, deep, rich on 17 different levels. Recommend this series in general, and then just be really excited if you haven't, if you start the series, just be really excited for the time you get to book number 9. So then I don't know if I'm actually going to do an actual TBR for January, considering it's already January 1st, but this is my idea, is that, I have literally hundreds of books unread, and many of those books were bought within the last few years, and because of a particular booktuber or particular booktubers really love this certain book, or there was big hype around a certain book or whatever, whether that be a classic, a backlist book, or something that's new. So I think I did this actually the summer before last, I want to say, some month that didn't have like a major readathon going on, and I called it BookTube Made Me Do It. And that's kind of what the theme, I guess, is for January. And I might kind of aim for every month of the year to choose at least one book that's like a BookTube Made Me Do It kind of thing. So the first book that I'm going to read, it's heavy, is The Crimson Petal and the White by Michel Faber. This is a big favorite of Jen Campbell's. I've heard her talk about it multiple times. I think it was in my last video, I had the wrong book. I had Umberto Eco's The Name of the Rose. She also really likes that book, but the specific book that I was thinking of was actually The Crimson Petal and the White, because when my parents and I watched all of Bridgerton on Christmas Day, and there was the opera singer character, Sienna. She's not a prostitute, but it made me think of like the feeling of it, because the character Sienna in Bridgerton was not a lady of virtue, and she was the mistress of one of the main characters. It just gave me the feeling of that, and so Sugar is a 19-year-old prostitute in Victorian London who yearns to escape and to start a better life. So this is super long, hundreds of pages longer than The Name of the Rose would have been. So this is like almost 900 pages. So we'll see if I get to anything other than this. I do have others planned, but probably catch up on those in vlogs or future Friday reads. I wanted to do I'm not going to do like a major like 2020 recap or anything like that. So I just wanted to do like a little brief bit. So I already went into 2020 knowing that I was going to be working a lot more, even before Sam died, and I kind of was forced to work a lot more. So I wanted to read less books than I read last year. Because if I read less books, that meant I was probably working more, and that was definitely the case. So this year, or 2020, I read 76 books. The shortest was Neil Gaiman's The Sleeper and the Spindle, which is 76 pages, and the longest was Ken Follett's In the Morning and the Evening, which is the third in the Kingsbridge series. It really did nothing for me. I honestly can't even remember the characters or the story. I listened to that one on audiobook. Maybe I would have had a greater affection for it. Either I would have had a greater affection and connection for it if I read it in physical form, or I might have DNF'd it. And then I've never been one to like categorize and count, what percentages of certain categories or anything. But since it was only 76 books, I thought, let me just see. Of the 76 books, 23 were nonfiction. I also was a judge, a BookTube Prize judge for fiction and nonfiction. So many of those nonfiction books were for the BookTube Prize, but I do, especially for work, I do read quite a bit of nonfiction as well. 23 of the 76 were by BIPOC authors, and 47 were by women. I don't think I particularly aim to read more women than men, or go out of my way to read authors of color. I do enjoy reading from diverse perspectives, and I think that's one of the greatest things about being a reader, is that we get to be in the heads of, whether it's fiction or nonfiction, we get to be in the head and the culture and the life of people who are very, very different from us. So I really enjoy that part. So that is my 2020 reading wrap up, I guess, or breakdown. I just set my Goodreads goal for 2020. I just set it at 52. I don't know. I'll probably read more than that, but I think 52 is a good place to go for right now, since I am now working full time. So Happy New Year, everybody. I hope everyone has a safe and healthy, happy New Year and a good start to the reading year. Hopefully tomorrow, the kids and I, by the way, will be doing another readathon day. That was part of their Christmas present. So happy reading, happy New Year. See you around the tubes.